अनफॉर्चुनेटली इंडिया में उसको रिलेट किया जाता है एक दूसरे से. एज एंड एक्सपीरियंस इज नॉट रिलेटेड, एजुकेशन सक्सेस नॉट रिलेटेड. कि कुछ चीज़ें ज़रूर एज के साथ आती हैं. परफेक्ट लैप वेयर एवरीथिंग गोज द वे वी वांट इट टू. So what I would like to do is I'll share my journey of how we started Homversity, how it scaled from one simple hostel room to over 30 cities in India. How the entire structure was made. क्या गलतियाँ की, क्या हमने चीज़ें सीखी, what our learnings were, कैसे कैसे scale up किया, कैसे कैसे level up हुई हमारी कंपनी में चीज़ों की. And we will discuss about everything in detail. So I'll start. I have a quick deck. What I have done is I understand these webinars might get boring if it goes way too technical. So I'll keep it in a way where it is more engaging and it is more relatable to you guys. So what I have done is I have broken down the entire journey into 8 slides. All of these, each slides have a particular movie scene reference, and that relates to one part or one instance of our story, so that you also understand what we are trying to convey. So I'll not take a lot of your time, and I'll start with the deck, and then we'll go along with it. Okay. Simply, what I have done is broken down into the 8 honest life lessons, or you can say learnings, which helped me, an engineering student, when I started this company, to make it a multi-million-dollar US dollar company, right? So that journey is covered into certain stories, certain small instances, and we'll go through it accordingly. So the first story, the first instance, the first learning, and was believing it to see it. वाला factor होता. So there is a movie called Ford versus Ferrari, and in that movie there is a scene where the main hero, that is the Ken Miles, who is the main protagonist, who is the driver for Ford, goes just before a day of that race, sits with his son on the racetrack and tells him ki, look, there might be a perfect lap where everything goes the way we want it to. Every turn is correct, every decision, every speed break, everything goes the way we want it to, and we believes that it will happen. And he asks his son whether you see that perfect lap or not. Okay, and at that point in time, his son Peter says yes, I think so. And then Miles says most people don't, or most people can't. The point is, what I'm trying to make here is when we started, this is all we had. All we had was a desk, a bench, a laptop, a small, a pamphlet saying book of campus hostels. And when a bunch of college students back in 2018-19, when we were sitting at this desk, no one used to think that one day it will be a company which operates with so many, wonderful team members and across 30 cities in India, serving so many people and students and working professionals. So the journey from here to here was a very, very remarkable one. But the most important aspect was the guys sitting on this bench back for 4-5 years ago had to see or had to believe that one day there would be a perfect time when we will have that perfect resource, then when we will have the right amount of experience, the right amount of opportunities, and everything will go the way we want it to, right? And that belief, helps us to kickstart the journey, irrespective of what the current situations are. There is a hope that one day, if you have modest ambitions, if you have the right approach towards something, it will all turn out to be good. Okay, so believe it to see it. You will have to believe it to yourself. I come from a civil service background, family from Patna, and everybody's in civil services in my family. And it was the first time someone was going into the business field. It was very difficult because I had a job in my hand at the time of my placement, and I opted out of the placement and pursued my own company, which was very tricky because just a fun thing that अपना कैंपस प्लेसमेंट का इंटरव्यू देके मैं जब बाहर आया था तो मैंने अपनी कंपनी के लिए इंटरव्यूज लिए थे. सो इट वाज अ एक्सपीरियंस, एंड सुनने में ये बहुत अच्छा लगता है आज, बट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम फॉर अ स्टूडेंट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम टू मेक दैट डिसीजन ऑफ ऑप्टिंग आउट ऑफ दैट campus placement was really scary, was really tough. And what made us do that was the belief that one day things will be better or the way we want it to. So the next thing is, I know it's kind of funny, but I've kept it in such a way so that you guys can relate and everybody could. So the second thing was ki, uh, never tend to undervalue yourself. When we started, as I mentioned, when we started, we were just bunch of engineering students trying to solve a problem with nothing, no resources, a mountain full of hurdles. But and people used to way to undervalue us when we started. We used to get offers back in 2018 ki okay, आप आपके पास 10 प्रॉपर्टीज के साथ आप काम करो, ये लो 5 लाख रुपीज एंड गिव अस 51% और 49% और 50% और 6-7 लाख की वैल्यूएशन देते थे हमें वो लोग. बट at one fine evening, मैं कॉलेज में बैठा हुआ था and someone told me कि there is a competition called RISE that happens in Hong Kong, and why don't you apply in it? It is Asia's largest technology conference. जब मैं वहाँ पे गया तो मतलब जब मैंने उसके लिए अप्लाई करने का प्रोसेस शुरू किया तो मुझे लोग आके बोलते थे कि सौरभ यार नॉट पॉसिबल because it's for the bigger league, it's for the big boys to be there, the big companies to be there, the fairy tale startups जो उनके लिए ये सारे platforms बने हैं. आप एक student हो, आप एक छोटे से बच्चे हो 22-23 years के, how would you do that? So we applied for that, and we got shortlisted. We went to Hong Kong, and जहाँ पे हमें 5 लाख 3 लाख के ऑफर्स मिलते थे, हमारी कंपनी को 6 करोड़ का वैल्यूएशन उस समय मिला था. When we were just college students, we raised funds from Hong Kong in China, and subsequently every hurdle that we came across, we shined out of it. For example, दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी incubation program जिसको हम Y Combinator कहते हैं, उसमें it's very difficult to get into it, and someone told me to, why don't you apply for it? And I was like, sir, we are just bunch of engineers, we don't know anything about, we are not in the upper league at this point of time कि हम San Francisco जाके world stage पे startups के साथ compete करें. And so someone told me कि why don't you give it a shot? मैंने बोला ठीक है, हम फॉर्म भरते हैं. We applied for it, and it's a very rigorous process. Out of 17,000 applications worldwide, they pick like 100 and then they call them to San Francisco. It's the most tiring and roastful interview process that one goes through in the startup journey, and it happens in San Francisco. And we qualified. We were in the top 100 out of 17,000 worldwide. And at that point of time, when I qualified for that event, I realized when we start something, we try to undervalue ourselves. I mean, we try to believe that the people who are succeeding, the people who are excelling, are different than what we are, right? But it is not the case, guys. I mean, आप कभी भी किसी भी point of life पे हो, आप चाहे working professional हो, चाहे आप student हो, आप already कहीं काम कर रहे हो, and you have something that you believe in really, that if I do this might work out, then do it. Don't let people tell you that you cannot do it. No, don't let people suppress you or undervalue you, because unfortunately वो एक stereotype mindset होता है कि बच्चे हैं नहीं कर पाएंगे, या ये बड़े लोगों का काम है, and things like that. But वो कंपनी जो सिर्फ 25,000 रुपए से शुरू हुई थी, आज 60 करोड़ क्रॉस कर चुकी है. So, and that bunch of students operating from a hostel room now has served over 10,000 students last year, over 110,000 plus rooms on the network. So it's a big, it's a journey that we went through. And मैं उसमें ये बात समझ गया था कि stop undervaluing you, because अगर आप अपने आप को undervalue करोगे तो लोग तो हैं ही undervalue करने के लिए आपको. So at least you don't do it. The third stage is what I believe most important to scale any business, to create any business, to do anything great in life, is the capacity to have jugaad. Okay, one of my close mentors, Mr. Amit Mishra, who is also one of the national startup advisors now, he told me when I was starting, I was just a student, that sort of what you can do with jugaad, resources can't do it, and I somehow still believe it so much that I'll tell you some jugaad stories and how jugaad really works, and how engineers or anybody can find jugaad and work and create great things. So for example, there is a thing called SEO, search engine optimization, right? So जो दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी कंपनी है सैन फ्रांसिस्को बेस्ड जो SEO करती है, वो हमारे पास आई. उन्होंने कहा कि सौरभ, we will help you out because आपकी जो कंपनी है एक मास ऑडियंस का एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करती है. Why don't you help us do the SEO? मैंने बोला why we would be glad if you help us. But उन्होंने हमें कुछ 80-85 लाख का कोटेशन दिया. हमारे पास टोटल फंड ही उस समय कुछ 1 करोड़ रुपए के आसपास थे, like 2-3 years ago. And I was not able to sign that deal, but मैंने उनके फाउंडर को कॉन्स्टेंटली मेल किया कि यार प्लीज हेल्प अस विद सर्टेन थिंग्स, जस्ट हमें 5-6 टिप्स दे दीजिए, हम खुद कर लेंगे एंड ऑल दैट. एंड आई रोट like 15-16 emails to them, and after that like 14-15 mails, one of his core member team replied to me and said कि ये लो, ये एक छोटा सा हम 5 पेज का टिप्स दे रहे हैं, आप इससे जो कर सकते हो करो, बट हमें आप वापस मेल मत करना. ओके, एंड आई गॉट दैट हैंडबुक. मैंने अपनी एक टीम को बैठाया, 2 लोगों की टीम को जिन्होंने एसईओ किया. बाय द वे, आज इंडिया की जितने भी हाउसिंग, स्टूडेंट हाउसिंग से रिलेटेड सर्च टर्म्स हैं इंडिया की जितने भी प्रोमिनेंट सिटीज में, उस पर होमवर्सिटी रैंक 1, 2, 3 में ही आती है. अक्रॉस 560 सर्च टर्म्स इन इंडिया वी रैंक नंबर 1. अगर किसी की खुद की भी प्रॉपर्टी है, खुद की भी वेबसाइट है, हमसे अच्छी वेबसाइट है, तो भी वो हमसे ऊपर नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज दैट इज द लेवल ऑफ एसईओ दैट वी हैव डन. एंड ऑल द मनी स्पेंट ऑन इट वाज say 1 lakh rupees rather than 80 lakh rupees. The other one is there was a rap video called Kasa Kai Paltan, which was shot for Mumbai Indians versus Gujarat ka match, IPL match, and they were supposed to wear the Mumbai Indians jersey, but at the end point उनको शायद due to some reason वो permission नहीं मिला. And I was passing by, मेरी टीम ने बोला कि सर इनकी जर्सी और हमारी जर्सी ऑलमोस्ट सेम, एंड आई somehow found a contact who was shooting it, and उन्होंने हमें जो रैप वीडियो में एक्टर्स थे उनको हमारी जर्सी पहना दी. एंड द एंटायर शूट वाज डन by them not wearing the Mumbai Indians jersey but Homversity's jersey, and we got like 2 million hits on the platform without spending any money. So you'll have to be very, very, Acha, Amit Mishra sir has also spoken on Juno, so he's a very dear mentor to me, and you will have to be very, very jugadu, because you'll have to find out ways to not spend your money on things which can be done without spending money. A lot of things we do, for example, our biggest market is Kota. When it comes to hostels, right? And what we learned out कि जैसे for example when Ola started in India, उसको मुंबई एयरपोर्ट पे local cab association वाले enter नहीं करने देते थे, because they thought कि this will disrupt their market, जो कि होना ही था एक point of time पे. वैसे ही जब हम कोटा में launch किए थे तो हमें भी local brokers बहुत परेशान करते थे. They used to threaten our team members on gun points and things like that. So what we figured out कि यार कोटा पहुंचने के बाद तो मार्केटिंग करना डिफिकल्ट है, क्या कोटा पहुंचने के पहले बच्चों तक अपनी बात पहुंचाई जा सकती है. एंड द वे दैट वी फाउंड आउट वाज कि ठीक है यार, एक ट्रेन चलती है पटना से कोटा तक, तो एक काम करते हैं, 10 फ्रेंड्स को बुलाते हैं, सबको यूनिवर्सिटी की जर्सी पहनाते हैं और ट्रेन की टिकट खरीद के अंदर चले जाते हैं. एंड हर एक कंपार्टमेंट में जाके बच्चों को बताएंगे कि क्या प्रॉब्लम्स होगी जब आप वहाँ पे उतरोगे, तो कैसे ब्रोकर्स परेशान करेंगे, ब्रोकर्स लेंगे, कैंसिलेशन नहीं मिलेगा, थिंग्स लाइक दैट. एंड जब तक ट्रेन रुकी, ओवर 100 से भी ज़्यादा कन्वर्जन्स हो चुके थे, एंड मनी स्पेंड वॉज बेयर मिनिमम, राइट? सो यूल हैव टू बी वेरी, वेरी जुगाड़ू. You'll have to think, सब कहते हैं think outside the box, but when very less people really do that, because that sounds risky, it takes a little bit of guts to do something which is different. The next lesson that I like anybody doing anything in life, I don't care what you do, what you are doing, what stage of your life you are at, you need to be a great salesman. I was just speaking before, I got 5 minutes late because I was speaking at a MBA university, and I was there because people wanted to see and know our story. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that how we do that and what we do. So we keep on sharing small highlights. So I always tell people, you're an MBA or not, doesn't really matter. You need to be a good salesman. And and we do crazy ways. As I mentioned, ये उसी समय की फोटो जब हम ट्रेन से बाहर निकले थे, and a group of parents encircled us, और उन्होंने अपने हॉस्टल्स हमारे थ्रू बुक किए. और ये फोटो देहरादून के जगह की है जहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स को, कंपनीज को कॉलेज के अंदर मार्केटिंग करना अलाउड नहीं था. ये मेरी यूनिवर्सिटी को मत बताना प्लीज. सो हमने क्या किया था, हमने अपनी सारे एम्प्लॉयज़ को यूनिफॉर्म दे दिया था कॉलेज का, और वो एज स्टूडेंट्स बन के अंदर जाके मार्केटिंग कर रहे थे. एंड यू वोंट बिलीव, पेरेंट्स को इतना हेल्प हुआ कि ओवर 300-400 स्टूडेंट्स बुक्ड in a span of hours. So हर चीज करनी पड़ेगी आपको. You will have to be good enough to sell your product, good enough to sell your vision, and because unless you are not a good salesman, nothing really works for you. Okay, so another brilliant movie scene is where Thor and Loki play the get help to get out of a place. And what I mean by that is ki in this current era, when we speak to students, they're very skeptical about asking for help. The attitude doesn't allow them to, or the ego doesn't allow them to ask for help, which is something I would like people to just change. because asking for something is not bad, asking for help is not bad, asking for guidance is not bad. And we have asked, our journey has been so great that it would not have been so great without the support of the people who have been through the journey from the starting, since the college to this national level company, जहाँ पे faculties हमें help करते थे, students हम help करते थे, because when people know that you are on a good agenda, you have a modest ambition, you have good intentions towards solving a problem or creating something, people help you in ways that you will never expect. For example, I'll tell you something. Chief Minister of Uttarakhand called me and वो उन्होंने बुलाया और हमें जाना पड़ता. But next day मेरा एक बहुत important computer science का एग्जाम था, एक सब्जेक्ट जिसको DA कहते हैं, डिजाइन एनालिसिस ऑफ एल्गोरिथम्स, और इंजीनियर्स लास्ट मोमेंट पे ही पढ़ते हैं. सो आई वाज वेरी कंसर्न कि यार मैं यहाँ चला जाऊँगा चीफ मिनिस्टर के पास, वो पूरा दिन भर का इवेंट होगा, हाउ विल आई स्टडी. But and I went to the faculty and explained him the scenario, and he said कि जाओ, we'll try what we can do. So I went there. रात को आया, सुबह उठ के एग्जाम देने गया. मैं कुछ पढ़ा नहीं था उस एग्जाम में. मुझे आई डोंट नो हाउ 85 मार्क्स आए. प्रैक्टिकल में जब मैं प्रैक्टिकल देने गया तो सबसे आर्किटेक्चर बनाया जा रहा था, ये आर्किटेक्चर बना के दिखाओ, वो आर्किटेक्चर बना के दिखाओ. एंड व्हेन आई वेंट देयर दे वर लाइक, सौरभ कैसी चल रही कंपनी, एवरीथिंग गुड, कोई जरूरत हो बताना, जाओ A+. सो व्हाट दैट टॉट मी इन लाइफ कि इफ your intentions are clear, people will always help you, because they also know that very less people in this world are having a modest ambition to do something and solve a problem. So do not hesitate in asking for help. Okay. And another crazy story I'll tell you about age. We heard about ki, experience comes with age or success comes with education. Disagreed. Definitely it's an add-on benefit, but it is not a guarantee for that. Okay, so for example, I'll tell you, when I started the company, I was 21. Okay, I was the youngest in my company. All the employees were senior to me, and everybody was senior to me. And what I have learned about that is कि कुछ चीजें जरूर एज के साथ आती हैं, बट जब आपको ऑन ग्राउंड काम करके एक्सपीरियंस होगा ना, वो किसी भी MBA, मतलब किसी भी पर्टिकुलर एक स्पेसिफिक डिग्री से नहीं मिलने वाला, या किसी एक पर्टिकुलर एज ग्रुप पे जाके वो वैसा नहीं होता है. इट इज ऑल अबाउट हाउ यू आर यू विलिंग टू मेक योर हैंड्स ऑन वर्क. आप करने के लिए केपेबल हो नहीं हो, विलिंग हो नहीं हो. एंड a lot of things happen, there are crazy stories. I don't know who all are on this call, so मैं क्या स्टोरी सुना सकता हूँ, क्या नहीं सुना सकता हूँ, क्या appropriate होगा, क्या नहीं होगा. So I'm a little bit skeptical about it, but there are many stories which we can share about how कुछ चीजें हमें एज के साथ समझ में आई, कुछ चीजें हमें एक्सपीरियंस के साथ समझ में आई. बट these are not two equivalent things, these are very different things. And unfortunately इंडिया में उसको रिलेट किया जाता है एक दूसरे से. एज एंड एक्सपीरियंस is not related, education success not related. I hope I made sense what I was trying to convey here, because I never do one-way interactions. I always do open conversation so that I can see what people are saying or doing, or so also what I learned is कि as soon as you grow, I mean college तक ठीक है, 25-30 लाख की कंपनी है, फिर 2-4 करोड़ की कंपनी हुई, 5 करोड़ की कंपनी हुई, 10 करोड़ की, 15-20-50 करोड़ की कंपनी हुई. You will have to keep your feet on ground. You'll have to be humble enough. Yeah, exactly. No one cares. As a salesman, you are the first face and you get to know the problem, but the PG owner is not looking into how you resolve the problem. Exactly. So, I mean, they don't care, Darshan, they don't care about, उनका है कि रूम सेल कर लिया उन्होंने और चले गए आगे. And that is what the agenda of Homversity is, how we solve it कि throughout the journey, throughout the stay, वहाँ पे जितनी सर्विसेज जा रही हैं, क्या वो अच्छी जा रही है, नहीं जा रही तो हम अपनी सर्विसेज भेजते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी हैव अ ब्रांड कॉल्ड होमवर्सिटी हेल्दी, विच इज द हॉस्टल फूड ब्रांड, बिकॉज वी नो हॉस्टल का खाना खराब होता है, हम सब जानते हैं. कोई सॉल्व नहीं कर रहा आज तक इस चीज़ को, वो हम कर रहे हैं, राइट. पिछले 40 डेज में ओवर 90,000 मील्स सर्व किए गए यूनिवर्सिटी के जरिए स्टूडेंट्स को. सो इट्स अ बिग नंबर. वी आर ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व ऑल दोज प्रॉब्लम्स. सो गोइंग बैक टू वेयर वी वर, who all in this seminar or in this session knows who this guy is next to me? Can you make a guess, guys, who this is? I'll wait for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and I'll let you guess who the gentleman is next to me. He is Shri Krishna Gopalakrishnan, the co-founder of Infosys. Okay. Along with Narayan Murthy, sir, founded Infosys, which is the biggest IT company in the world also now, one of the biggest IT companies in the world. So when I met him, I realized one thing, that the humbleness that he carried, the approach that he had while talking to people, the candid, casual culture that he followed. He was not a suited tie guy who was only speaking about numbers and metrics and very, he was so easy to talk to. He was so easy to interact with, and he was so open to listen to people, right? And he was very open to seeing how people are doing things differently, or how they're trying to do something which has not been done yet, right? So when I met them, I realized that the people on the top of the pyramid, the people we consider to be the successful, or the finest people of the country, when you really speak to them, you'll see they're the humblest people as well. And that's what I try to convey to my team. No matter what you are, who you are, what position you sit on, you need to understand the empathy of the person or the people working below you, right? For example, I hired a guy who was the chief operating officer of our company, a very well top tier educated guy, top IIT topper and things like that. And he was all in the past experience, he was one of the top people in operations for one of the biggest startups in the country, and I hired him. And he was very good in making projections, Excel sheets and plans, but not good at interacting with the team, or not good at actually tracking what the team was doing. So मैंने क्या किया कि ठीक है, आप बहुत हाई पेइंग सैलरी वाले बंदे हो, लेट्स ट्राई यू आउट. सो मैंने कहा कि आपकी टीम ने किसी भी शहर का जो सबसे बुरा हॉस्टल लिस्ट किया है, जो सबसे सस्ता हॉस्टल लिस्ट किया है, आपको उसमें जाके 1 वीक स्पेंड करना है हर सिटी के. And he was like very offended ki how you're saying that he went to my board of directors ki Saurav is making me to stay in hostels which our team has listed. When you have listed a hostel on the platform, then you should be able to stay there yourself, because agar aap khud nahi reh rahe ho, to how you're expecting someone else to be there? So it is very different, and that's what I learned ki people who are not really successful are unnecessarily carrying an ego or an attitude which they don't even deserve to. And the people who really are successful don't really care about showing off ego and anything. They're the most humble people. So be humble, be down to earth, relate to what people say. Our doors are always open in our office cabins. Anybody can walk in any time of the day. You can call me at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m. I don't care. We're there to speak. So you will have to be humble. You'll have to be open. You'll have to listen to your team. Then only you can do something great. The third is dots do connect for the better part. And we represented Homversity. I represented Homversity on Shark Tank, one of the most viewed episodes also, and one of the most anticipated episodes it was considered for this season. And post that, everything changed for the brand. जहाँ पे एक मंथ में एक दिन में पर सेकेंड, अगर पर मिनट की बात करें तो इजी रहेगा पर मिनट डिफाइन करना. 50 यूजर्स पर मिनट रहते होंगे तो अभी 90,000 यूजर्स पर मिनट तक हो गए थे. सो व्हाट शार्क टैंक डिड वाज, शार्क टैंक गिव अस एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू स्पीक टू पीपल एंड कन्वे दैट कि बॉस आई अंडरस्टैंड प्रॉब्लम है, बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है और कोई इसको सॉल्व नहीं कर रहा है क्योंकि एजेंडा लोगों का बुरा है. इसको सॉल्व करते हैं. एंड दैट इज व्हाई कमेंट सेक्शंस, हमारे सोशल मीडियाज, हमारे डिजिटल आउटलेट्स, वेबसाइट, इंक्वायरी, सब जगह पे ना बच्चों का ऐसा क्या कहते हैं, रोर ऑफ सपोर्ट आया कि why no one ever did that what you're trying to do now. इतनी साल की पुरानी इंडस्ट्री है, किसी ने सॉल्व क्यों नहीं किया, हम जरूर करेंगे. And that was the agenda where we understand the problem. The team lives in hostel. I was living in hostel for the past 8 years. I know inside out. No one gives a damn about a television in the room or not. They care about good food, good housekeeping, good Wi-Fi, and a value for money rent. And that's the approach of Homversity. So so the journey from that small bench to the biggest stage in the country, anybody, believe me that it's not easy. You'll have to be very confident. You will have to be open to making mistakes. You will have to be open to adapting to changes. You will have to be open to learning new skill sets. And after everything, you should have that patience and perseverance to sit calmly when things are not going your way, because they won't go the way you want them to. Okay, and have patience for a certain amount of time. Okay, एंड ओवरनाइट सक्सेस जितनी जल्दी आता है उतनी जल्दी चला भी जाता है, बट ग्रेट कंपनीज आर बिल्ट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ स्ट्रगल, अप्स एंड डाउन्स, बिकॉज देन आफ्टर दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम दे नो कि ओके ये होगा तो हमें ये करना है, अगर ऐसा कुछ होता है तो टेंशन नहीं लेना है, यहाँ पे ये करना है. बट someone who has always seen the good will crumble when he sees a bad. Okay, but once someone who has always been in that good bad situation knows how to handle these situations. So life में जब तक reading ऐसे आ रही है, you are doing well. Reading ऐसे आती है, you are dead. So always look forward to anything in your life, whatever good or bad, in a very positive way. Always be optimistic. Pessimistic लोगों से दुनिया भरी हुई है. Stay away, stay clear. जो करना है करो. With a good agenda करो. With a good modest mindset करो. And end में सब कुछ ठीक हो ही जाता है. That's what I try to say. So